So what's up? I just got something on my mind I wanted to really just hit you with. I was watching Vlad, and you know what I'm saying, I seen Godfrey on there, right? And Vlad asked the question, and he said he was talking to Freeway Ricky, right? And he said that Freeway Ricky said that Africans, right, don't like African Americans. And I think I addressed this previously, like 10 years ago, right? But see, like, everything is depicted through television and the media. So what you see is what you going to believe. More than likely, seeing is believing. So now, if I see a movie like Precious, you know what I'm saying? And if I live in Africa, or I live in Cameroon, or I live in China, or if I live in India, pardon me. See, this is the things that I go through all day. You know what I'm saying? Like I was saying, if a Russian sees the movie Precious, you know what I'm saying, they never met an African American ever in their life, you know what I'm saying, the stigma of Precious will be on their head, you know what I'm saying? It's like, they see, oh, this is how African Americans are. This is how they live. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I dislike people like that make movies, you know what I'm saying, depicting the African American a certain way. Because the way you depict African Americans is the way the whole world depict black people in general. Because it starts off with the African American. I wanted to get my extra, you know what I'm saying, facts out there, because I didn't think Godfrey really did a good job of representing Nigeria and Nigerians and West Africans like he's supposed to. Because, you know, he a famous and he a celebrity, and you know he got a fan base which is mainly, you know, African Americans. So you know he gonna co-sign stuff that's not even factual, you know what I'm saying? And the reason why I say it's not factual, not to diss or saying like I'm against Godfrey, because he made some valid points, but I just wanted to, you know, go deeper into the facts. You know, he started off with Akata, you know what I'm saying, and started off with the Sugar Hill Gang and the movie, and you know, the guy told Wesley that he was Akata, and then Akata, he was like, yo, what does Akata mean? And then he said, oh, cotton picker. No, first of all, Akata does not mean that, okay? Let's get that straight. Oh yeah, so and I'm not knocking Godfrey for not knowing what Akata mean, because Godfrey is an Igbo American, you know what I'm saying, and they speak totally different language. Akata is not an Igbo word, it's a Yoruba word. So you need a Yoruba American like me to address the situation in a proper manner. All right. So the word Akata doesn't mean cotton picker. You know what I'm saying? The writer of the Sugar Hill movie that came out in '94, he's an African American. So I guess he indulged it with Yoruba individuals, and they called them Akata. But you got to understand where everything stems from. But let's get into the meaning of Akata. I have, contrary to popular opinion amongst non-Yorubas, you understand? Because Godfrey is a non-Yoruba. He's Igbo. Igbos are not Yorubas, but we might be related by blood, but we're not in the same dialect. You know what I'm saying? We don't speak the same language, we don't speak the same dialect, but we might be related, you know what I'm saying, like through history, down the bloodline, you know, some history, if we want, you know what I'm saying, if you do the research. But anyway, it says, contrary to popular opinion amongst non-Yorubas and some Nigerians or Africans who do not understand, this word Akata does not mean cotton picker or slave, and it's not derogatory. You know what I mean? It means a cat that does not live at home, like me. You know what I'm saying? I'm born in America. I was born in Washington, D.C., raised in Baltimore County. Don't ever, yeah, I mean, I'm a county boy, Woodlawn, yeah. So I'm a Baltimore County resident. I was born in Washington, D.C. So when I lived in Nigeria, I'm a Kata. You know what I'm saying? Because I do not speak Yoruba. You know what I'm saying? I don't live in the homeland. You know what I mean? If you take me to Lagos right now and just drop me off and be lost, like I don't know what, you know what I'm saying? And people recognize that. So they call you an Akata to say that this cat is not from home. Now, it means a cat that doesn't live at home, like a wild, non-domesticated cat. You know what I'm saying? Like a cat, an alley cat, like all right, it was Heathcliff, and then you had the other cat that was living in a junkyard. You know what I'm saying? It was, like if you watch Heathcliff back in the day, it was Heathcliff, and then after Heathcliff, it came on with the other cat that lived in the junkyard, and he had on the flat cap and stuff. He was real slick, and he was going with the white cat. Anyway, like him, you know what I'm saying? Not a domesticated cat that lives in a house, but a wild cat that lives outside of the house that ain't got no understanding, you know what I'm saying, about what's going on in the house and stuff like that. You're not at home, you know what I'm saying? So like African Americans don't know that Yoruba is prostrate. When you greet your mommy and you see your mommy in the morning, you prostrate, and you do that. But you don't do that because you're not familiar with that, because you wasn't raised at home. Matter of fact, people say they old. That's an old custom. Even Nigerians, Yorubas who live in America right now don't practice that. You know what I'm saying? And Yorubas are all over the world. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just Yorubas in Nigeria. It's talking about any Yoruba person, because we recognize African Americans to be Yoruba, first of all. That's why we could call you Akata. You don't live on the homeland. You know what I'm saying? You're not from around, you don't live in Nigeria. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, you an Akata. Alright, so it says, what I was at? It says, they are considered Africans by all Africans, but the fact that they don't live in Africa make them Akata, while those of us who live at home can be considered Olagbo cats. So you either Olagbo, O-L-O-B-O. You know what I'm saying? Olagbo, that means cat. Akata means cat that's not home. You understand? So it was never no diss, you know what I mean? They done took that to the next level because they didn't understand what was being said. You know what I'm saying? And I understand where Godfrey coming from, because he American like me. You know what I'm saying? We watch movies, we don't be understanding nothing until we live in a home. And I bet you Godfrey never lived in Nigeria. He probably never lived there. He probably visited. Don't get me twisted. Unlike me, I lived in Nigeria. I lived and went to school there. I went to Command Secondary School in Ibadan. That's why I'm good all over the world. You understand? I don't even care about stuff that a lot of people, care about, because of that experience in my life. You understand? So that's just one aspect. Now we're going to get into the whole ideology of what's going on right now. And like I said, you cannot knock Godfrey, because he probably never been to the Biafra. You know what I'm saying? He probably never been to River State or wherever his people's from. You know what I'm saying? And he never been there. So he can't really understand, because his ideology come from television just like everybody else, just like me. I didn't go to Nigeria until 89. So before then, you know what I mean? We watch Roots. We done seen Shaka Zulu on television, you know what I mean? And then you watch the National Geographics, you know what I'm saying? And then you see all this crazy stuff about Africa and stuff like that. And like I said previously, when people see these type of images being portrayed, you know what I'm saying, of them or people that look like them, they want to shy away from that type stuff. So we can go, he used Sugar Hill as an example. Now I'm going to go way further. Sugar Hill came out in 1994. Let's go to Roots, okay? And let's go to the scene. Let's go to two different scenes. Because like when Fiddler first got Kunta from off the auction stuff, right? He brought him home to his peoples. They say, oh,
this old African? Lots of rental land. Them's his niggas. This is home.
Say, Fiddler, what you bring us?
Hold on now. I'll be right there. Let me get down. Now, I done stole a whole sugar loaf from the white folks' table at night. Just now you equals up and shares it around. Get some. Now come here. Let me show you something. This here is a Guinea man, an African. They catch him running through the woods in Guinea. Master Reynolds bought him right off the ship. Now you keep away from him now, because he a wild African. Oh, yeah, he a bobcat for sure. Now, some of you ain't never seen no African niggas before, so you just listen to old Fiddler now. This here Guinea man don't know English talking, so I'll be the one teaching him what it is he got to know. Come on, boy. Huh? Come on. Yeah, this way.
Don't talk to him. He's an African Guinea man. He eat people. He do this and he do that. And everybody was looking at Kunta all crazy. So why did Fiddler did all that? Why did he come out with that story and say, yo, Kunta eat people. And they eat little girls like you. Kunta, you know what I'm saying? And they already created an image in the eyes of the other slaves that this is how, you know, Africans are in the country, yada, yada, yada. Because, you know what I'm saying, I understand that too, because, you know, Africans, when they came, they was free. They never was in chains and none of that stuff. So in order for them to keep them down, you know, they was going to chain them up. And they couldn't speak English, you know what I'm saying? When you can't speak English, you a dummy. Just like Fiddler was trying to call Kunta. Dummy, you don't know how to speak, you can't talk, you dummy. Remember that? Oh, y'all don't remember that. That's why y'all gotta go back and reflect on certain things. All right. And then the other instance on Roots is when Kunta got older and it was John Amos who was playing, not LeVar Burton, but now it's John Amos playing Kunta, right? Kunta seen his future to be wife, I think her name was Belle. And he seen her and he was like, oh, shorty, you looking good. Remind me of African woman, something, one of my man Dinka women that I used to be on. And she was like, what? I ain't no African. My father was American, my daddy American, my great-granddaddy was American, da-da-da-da-da-da. I ain't no African. Don't you ever come? What's all that? You know what I'm saying? And it's been like that from the very beginning. It was always animosity for what you saw on your television or what you heard about what they was doing to Africa, even to this day. Shaka Zulu. Nigga, I seen Shaka Zulu, yo, that shit was serious, especially when he was fighting in the water and they like almost killed Shaka, yo. That scared the hell out of me, like, yo, I don't even want to go to Nigeria. I don't even, you know what I'm saying? Scared as I don't know what. And then when my peoples relocated me in like 93 and said, yo, you gonna go to school in Nigeria? I spent 2 years in Nigeria, but when I was at BWI, the whole time, nigga, I was crying the whole flight. Oh, I want to go to Nigeria. I was crying, yo, like a baby. I got to Nigeria, yo. I was so sad, yo. And then, you know what I'm saying, I got to really understand what was going on. And then it just made me smarter and stronger, you know what I mean? But yeah, they also showed the rise and fall of Idi Amin back in the 80s. So you watch Idi Amin and you just be like, oh shit, Idi Amin. And you didn't know the difference between Africans and different Africans. Like, he from Uganda. He not even from Nigeria. Why the fuck am I scared of some Idi Amin? Idi Amin was probably dead. No, Idi Amin just recently died. But Idi Amin had no threat. Wasn't no threat to me at all. But oh, Idi Amin, yo, he gonna bust my head open. You know what I mean? Because of television propaganda. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they do. They play the game. They play the propaganda game. You know what I'm saying? They show you Sugar Hill in Nigeria and in Cameroon and Ghana, you know, Ivory Coast, and all these countries in Africa. All they showing them niggas is fucking gangland, American Gangster. I'm talking about the Discovery Channel one. You know what I mean? Where they really show niggas killing motherfuckers and M13, M16 gang members and fucking BGF motherfuckers that be doing crazy shit. So that's what they show them in Africa. So they like recently. I went to Nigeria and to bury my grandma. But one of my cousins was telling me, yo, I am so scared to live in New York. Oh, they carry guns. They kill people for nothing. And I'm looking at him like, yo, them niggas in New York is never touching down on Lagos streets at all. You know what I mean? Niggas in Lagos are scared of niggas in New York, and niggas in New York looking at niggas in Lagos like, oh shit, not fucking with them niggas.
Also know artists that come back home with horror stories. They just is
Yeah,
scared.
the artists tell you that.
The artists come back.
They come back and tell you. They're not telling you.
They basically told me never go to Nigeria.
Yeah.
And stuff like
The
that.
same person.
Well, let's do this because I think
You know what I mean? And that's how they play the game. You know what I mean? And if you don't know the game, you gonna be walking around here shut. That's how they play the game in Baltimore. Nigga, I don't see that shit that be happening on the news. That shit don't be happening. I mean, yeah, it do be happening. But it don't happen to me. And it don't be happening to niggas around me. You know what I'm saying? And it's just a different temperament. Things happen to everybody and stuff happen, but it don't need to be exploited the way they have been exploiting us. You know what I'm saying? So now everybody think like, yo, niggas in Baltimore crazy and this and this and this and that. And that's not even all that. Like, you know what I'm saying? People depressed, people sad, and people unfortunate. You know what I mean? And people got fucking addicts and shit and be having fucking temper tantrums and anger management problems and all that. Dude doing the you know, I like listening to dudes on the thing, and he trying to do some Yoruba like research on Yoruba and this and this and that, and then he want to diss all Africans talking about
the history lesson. Okay, some things we want to get out the way. First of all, I'm American because this comes up. I live in America. I don't live in Africa. I can't speak with the accent because I get people who comment, your accent is wrong. You're not pronouncing the stuff right. I don't live over there. I live in the United States of America. So I pronounce the stuff the best way I can and have a Coke and a smile and leave it at that. But the point is from the non-Israelite Hebraic people and other Hamitic peoples who say I need to come to Africa and learn. No, I have no interest in going to Africa. The countries, for the most part, are underdeveloped by Western standards, and tribalism seems to be rampant just by the comments I get. I get a lot of hate mail from Africa, and it be on some tribal stuff, which I don't have time for. It's crazy. Anyways, that being said, I'm not interested in that. That's not what this is for. This is just a simple lesson, simple history lesson. Next, I also keep getting people telling me to study the other 400 ethnic groups in Nigeria. And my answer to that is for what? The Igbo, the Hausa Fulani, and the Yoruba make up almost 75% of the population. So that means roughly 25 to 30, or between 20 and 30% of the population is made up of those other 400 ethnic groups. You need to start coalescing some of them ethnic groups into nations. You shouldn't have 400 ethnic groups in one nation. But a key sign there is another, besides Ham meaning black or dark, Ham also can mean many nations. And that's an indicator of where you find Hamitic nations. Like wherever you find Hamitic nations, there's going to be a whole bunch of ethnic groups in there because they always have many nations. And when I say y'all need to coalesce, it's like if y'all all speak the same, if y'all all speak a similar language and it's really just different dialects, you need to coalesce into one ethnic group. Like you shouldn't have 400 different ethnic groups. Other country, that's how you end up getting colonized. Real talk. Like you have to, even in Europe, they had a bunch of different clans and a bunch of different ethnic groups at one time, and they all coalesced into nations. It wasn't, take Great Britain. You got Welsh people, English people, and Scottish people. And those groups used to, even amongst that three, there used to be different clans amongst them. They had to coalesce into a nation. All right. The same thing needs to happen in Nigeria. So no, I'm not about to study all 400 and whatever ethnic groups there are. That's crazy. I don't have time for that. Okay. Also, I've been having people like people from the Edo tribe, or formerly the Kingdom of Benin, justifying human sacrifice to me, talking about, yeah, all nations used to do human sacrifice, but y'all were sacrificing humans still like 100 years ago. So no, let's jump into this lesson and we're gonna break some stuff down.
Yeah, we ain't going to Africa. You telling me to go to Africa. I don't got nothing to do with Africans. And I ain't got nothing to do with Africa. I'm in America. We living good here. You see, the whole world want to run to America and do, you know what I'm saying? And it just sounded very, very, very hateful, you know what I'm saying, to the people for no reason. And there was another dude who just dissed the shit out of Nigerians. I think I did that on show him on one of my other videos, Yoruba Pride. I think it's Yoruba Pride too. Check that out. See, and it's not Africans who came over here had no issues with African Americans. When Africans came over here, we came, I say we, as far as like my parents and ancestors and shit like that, they came into America and came into the hood. You know what I'm saying? Came into the hood. We live in the midst of black people. You know what I mean? I went to Johnny Cake Elementary School. At the time, Johnny Cake was nothing but Caucasian school, and I ain't received the verbal abuse at that school that I did at Featherbed Lane Elementary School. And I was all type of African bush boogies and African booty scratcher and ill Addy, What kind of name is Addy? You know what I'm saying? Until, you know what I'm saying, they start saying Yorubas in the flesh. You know what I'm saying? They didn't know Yorubas come looking like Joshua. You know what I'm saying? They didn't know Yorubas look like Rotimi off of Power. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't know this. Now they getting educated and they seeing it and they starting to be like, oh, so yeah, Yoruba. And you see niggas like 21 Savage talking about some Ifa. Well, that's Yoruba. You understand? So that's what I wanted to say. It's not no hate from no Africans to African Americans. It's just more, it's like, you know, the European culture has rubbed off on a lot of black Americans in America, you know what I'm saying? So they hate fucking, you know, savagery or whatever they think is savagery. And, you know, the third world, they be looking at niggas in the third world like we not up to par to the rest of the world, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, what they show on television, they want to show you some National Geographic shit and show you like some 18th century figure or a person who hasn't even been in the modern day, you know what I mean? They want to show you images of that and say this is you, this is where you come from. Or they want to show the starving baby with the pot belly eating flies flying. Don't you know the richest man, black person in the world is in West Africa right now? And the richest person who ever lived was from West Africa. Remember that. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't knocking Godfrey. I understand that. You know what I'm saying? He coming from an intelligent perspective. His fan base is African American. So if he say something out the way, you know what I mean, how you gonna make a living? But as far as me, I tell you the real. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what this was. It's the real. Hate it or love it, I'm out. Oh yeah, yo, I got these fitteds. If you like these joints, these are my personal joints, you know what I'm saying? You see the face, my logo on here? Yeah, that's the face of determination, you know what I mean? If you don't know that, you know, like, I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan because I'm from Baltimore, right? And that stuff that Ray Lewis used to do and pump up the crowd, pump up his teammates and be like, yo, we gonna go out here, we gonna smash this team up, ain't nobody gonna get no runs on us or nothing, you know what I mean? And everybody be all pumped like, yeah, and be ready to go out there and kill something. Yeah, that's this face, you know what I mean? The face of determination and he about to go like on some Sparta, you know what I mean? We some thorough niggas, you know what I mean? That's what this is. And I done had this cat for over 3 years now, you know what I mean? And I got more on deck. If you like some, yeah, man, just hit me up right about here. Hit me up on this, and then I'll give you my Cash App information, and you can get one for yourself. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you for giving me my minutes.
All I know is that my music, it keep coming. All I know is that my music, it be jumping. All I know is that my music, it keep coming. All I know is that my music, it be jumping. Yeah, I'll be 40 in 4 years, but I don't give a fuck. I still got that shit for your ears. Hating on me because I don't dye my gray hairs. I fuck with the youth, but this shit here for my peers. Yeah, throwing parties for their own kids. Yeah, I make it cool to be an old head, make it bangin' so I can quickly pay off my mortgage. This is my house, act stupid, I saw you where the door is. Ever threaten my life, y'all niggas is so dead. Do life, but still never giving up my cornbread. Love me, I bring home the bacon and give her the sausage. I love to make you deadbeat niggas nonsense. They love to display that different kind of contents. I just rock them, this is a clear hit. Bring back that boom back, yeah, that's my focus. Now they jumping on my shit like my children on the mattress. I don't care about the blunts that you hitting. All I know is that you niggas better listen. I don't care about the drugs that you pumping. All I pray is that you niggas say something. All I know is that my music, it keep coming. All I know is that my music, it be jumping. All I know is that my music, it keep coming.